Hello, and welcome to today's DevOps Enterprise Summit session from ServiceNow. This was a ServiceNow's discussion around scaling to enterprise DevOps. My name is Eric Ledyard. I'm a principal product manager for the DevOps business unit, and today joining me remotely will be Ben Riley, an advisory solution consultant as part of our Sweegle acquisition. We wanted to talk about three key things that we're going to be discussing today. One is how to scale DevOps. Two, customer case studies on customers that have been with us during our journey. And three, Q&A so that we can have questions and answer with you. So the business imperative for scaling DevOps is really all around the fact that cloud native is becoming the standard de facto way of doing things. So Mode 2 or cloud native or microservices based development is really the way that most companies are organizing to be able to deliver code to their customers. The reason for this is that cloud adoption is rapidly accelerating. And so when you go to that world, legacy traditional code development methodologies are just not going to cut it. So a lot of organizations are transferring not only to the cloud, but they're also translating the way that they deliver code to their customers and value. And tracking that end-to-end value stream is really what's important to most organizations that are adopting the DevOps culture. And so the second big initiative to this is that DevOps is a very strategic initiative now, and especially post-COVID, we're seeing a lot more organizations need to move faster, but with less risk. And so the DevOps adoption is going to roughly double in the next year, from 41% of companies that tried in 2017 up to as much as 80% or more that are going to attempt this in 2021. The next big part of this is all around infrastructure as code and infrastructure automation. So companies are going to start to do more and more around treating their entire infrastructure deployments as code, and treating pretty much everything in their organization as code, whether it be pipelines, whether it be software development, whether it be pretty much everything. Everything is turning into as code, so it can be managed and tracked as part of an automated pipeline. The other part that's accelerating the DevOps adoption and value is around the challenges that a lot of companies are facing. So one of the big challenges is that many companies that have tried to adopt DevOps have failed to see any significant release frequency increase. And a lot of folks might tell you that value is more important than release frequency, but the reality is, and I can tell you, all of our projects were funded. I'm a former executive from Bank of America who tried this at a 200-year-old bank. All of our projects were built on the premise that we wanted to go from 9 months of a release cycle from ideation to production down to nightly builds. So our immediate metrics were all around release frequency. And we built 3 complete software factories. We trained 500 individuals how to be agile and do their development in an agile methodology. And yet no one would actually let us push the code to production because governance, risk, compliance, audit, we didn't really solve for any of the IT service management components. And so that's a common theme, is that a lot of companies, while they can write code quickly, while they can develop code iteratively, they're not able to push that code to production, so they can't get it in the hands of their customers, driving value. Another big part of this is that developers, 61% of developers interviewed in 2019 for the Active State survey, said that they spend less than 4 hours a day writing code and less than about an hour a day writing, mission critical, feature differentiating code that would help drive the business value to their customers. A lot of the tasks that they do, 70% of the tasks that they do are the mundane, process driven, manual legacy carry-ons from their old world. And so this is definitely a challenge for a lot of those individuals. Another problem is that 90% of release problems have configuration errors. And so when we do the root cause analysis, configuration management becomes a massive challenge because there's so many configuration files traveling throughout all of these deployments, both from an application configuration all the way to an infrastructure cloud configuration. So a lot of this being that it's challenged in this way is that we're actually seeing more and more configuration management becoming more important to this end-to-end service delivery. The other side of this is that, it takes a long time to get changes approved in most organizations. On average, we've seen around 23 days on average to get a normal change pushed through. And the second part is that there's a massive explosion in configuration data that's taking place. So this challenge of configuration is just getting more and more exacerbated as we grow the organization's capabilities. So what we're doing is bringing ServiceNow and DevOps together. So we're bringing the enterprise service management capabilities of the ServiceNow platform together with the DevOps needs of our customers. Our customers need speed to deliver faster, visibility to see across their entire tool chain and all of their tool chains, and then increase productivity. And the trick to doing all of this is through a strong integrations framework so that we can connect to all the tools that the customers currently use. We don't want people to change any of their tool sets. We want to leave them productive in the tool sets that they use every day and be able to integrate with those tools, pull the data into our platform, and then do all of the functionality that we're doing, which really out the gate is around change automation, developer insights, and push button audit. What we did was try and bring together the two worlds of dev and ops seamlessly into our platform. And it's a little bit challenging because we have to meet the needs of the developers, which is they want to move quickly and get products to market as quickly as possible with minimal process, bogged down and minimal kind of wait time in their process. Whereas ops need to make sure that we control and govern things so that we're not introducing risk into the environment and we're not taking outages and downtime for our customers. The way we did this was we leveraged the ServiceNow's core data model, which is our CSDM, Common Service Data Model, and built a DevOps data model to pull in all the data from all of these CI/CD tooling, from planning to coding to orchestration to static code analysis to testing to artifact management, all the way through that entire lifecycle. What we do is we bring all that data into the platform, and we allows us to do a lot of things. Like one is the change automation piece, where we can actually use decision trees to say, if this and this and this and this all meet, approve this change into production and let it deploy automatically with the CI/CD tooling. And from there through agile team planning to continuous compliance, both on the upfront pre-prod, where before you even deploy, we're checking compliance governance, to post-production when you're actually running in a service environment to be able to maintain that governance, risk, and compliance on an ongoing basis, leveraging things like our GRC platform and SecOps. All the way to the service health, which really ties into our IT operations management suite and being able to do